Stu here with Raid Shadow Legends and the Masked Fearmonger, the rare champion that comes at us as an epic. I know you're like, Stu, it's purple, it says epic, but really this guy is very much a rare champion. It wouldn't take much to bring him into the epic category. It's kind of sad. His stats are very much like a rare with the HP, the attack. The defense is higher, but we're not going to bring him in like Frozen Banshee. Put high defense on her, get those poisons up. We'll never play this guy in the clan boss. His speed is a little slow as well. It's okay though. We could cope with everything that he has there if they didn't put such requirements on all these moves. His passive is on a 4-turn cooldown. It's a really cool passive that needs to be on a 1-turn cooldown. We get a 50% turn meter increase whenever an enemy's HP drops below 20%. This would not break the game. He would not be an Energizer Bunny on a 1-turn cooldown, taking turn over turn, killing somebody, going and going and going. It doesn't work that way, and I'm really surprised this is not on a 1-turn cooldown. All his other moves are very conditional as well. To ignore 35% defense, you have to have a fear or a true fear up. There are so many epics and even rares in the game that ignore defense that have way better conditions than what he's got, or they just flat out ignore defense. Other ones out there, if they have higher max HP than them, they will ignore defense. Well, obviously this is an attack class. So the enemies and the bosses that work on bosses too, right? They'll have higher max HP. So we can't even ignore defense on a boss that we fight. And we have to have this up on anybody else. It's bad. It's very bad. I do like that when you kill somebody on here that you get these cool buffs. These are actually really good buffs. And I like it that there's two different conditions here. That if you get one normal one, where it should just be ignore defense of 50%, and then if you have true fear, you ignore defense of 100%. Then if you also get the kill, you get all this other cool stuff. I like that, but this is too much. You need to remove that fear or true fear. This part will replace the fear and we place the decreased speed is nice. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. And then if we get a kill, we also place more fears. I like this skill. There's nothing wrong with the skill. It's fine for an epic champion. This one, to decrease turn meter on the A1, you have to have fear or true fear. So again, we can't use this on any of the bosses out there. And there are a lot of champions in the game that decrease turn meter without this kind of a condition. And then we can lower the cooldown of our passive here by 1 turn if we kill somebody on the A1. But they should just remove this fear condition, and then make this a 1-turn cooldown. And this guy would be tons of fun. Let's go over here to Banner Lords really quick and just look, the Sacred Order, and look at just a few champions from this category. So right here, we've got Lightsworn that will decrease turn meter by 10%. Not 30%, it only works on 1 hit. 10% here, that's great, no condition on that. Then we've got Armiger here, which is an uncommon, which will decrease turn meter whenever he crits by 30%. And he's defense based. 30% turn meter decrease, all he has to do is critical hit. Now, if they put critical hit on our boy Fearmonger, I would be fine with that, because of course you're going to have high crit rate. Critical hit, we could still do it on any kind of bosses that we fight as well. There are so many other champions out there that decrease. We got Gala Longbraids that ignore so much defense. What, this girl too? If their max HP is higher, she'll ignore defense. There are a lot of rares. I'm just picking the ones that are quick right there. There are a lot of rares and a lot of epics that will do it as well. Let's jump in and run really quick through the Fire Knight so I can show you what he can do, and then we're going to get into Arena, because I know you want to see how he can function in Arena. But I want to show you a run here about getting, and you're going to see him apply. You're going to see him get some kills every once in a while. That A3 is going to kick in. We're going to decrease everything, right? He's going to do his A3 here. If we get a kill, we didn't get a kill, but we did get the turn meter increase. We dropped below 20%. Now, it doesn't have to be him that dropped somebody below 20%. It could be anybody. Oh, he was using his A2 first. Now he just uses A3. So he got all his buffs up. Okay, good. Everybody was whittled down enough that he got the kill. He's getting his increased speed. He's getting his block debuffs and his rebirth up. But remember, to drop turn meter on the A1, we have to have up a fear. To do a decreased defense of 35% on the A3, we have to have up a fear. These are all things we cannot do on the bosses, and going through here, unless you have somebody else doing all those fears, you're probably not going to have them up that often. He can do it on his A2, and it's really, I don't mind the A2. The A2 is a fine skill. We can place the fear up on that single target, and we can apply the slow speed. And then if you kill that target, you apply fears on other people in there. So it's a little too much. Any single target. So we could bring in somebody like War Maiden, which is a rare that you can farm, that does AoE decreased defense, and she can still put out just as much damage as this person right here. It's not like he's breaking the bank. We're not ignoring all this defense all around. We're not doing massive amount of damage with this champion. This champion does the same amount of damage as pretty much everybody else in the game. Instead of that though, well, with that, he has all these conditions too to be able to make it to where he can be better. And even then, when you're meeting those conditions, He's not even better. He's just the same as a lot of other champions out there, which, so total, he's pretty much a rare, right? We could have had a rare just like this one. Oh, we have a banner on. We have a banner on him as well that will not reset a cooldown. So he's very much like very much like a rare champion, and then such a subpar epic champion compared to all the other epic champions out there. And really, if you put that passive down to a 1-turn cooldown, he would get a kill, or we would lower turn meter of everybody out there by under 20%. He would get a 50%, like every turn, every time it's his turn, we'd have to drop somebody down below 20% of their HP for him to get that anyways, which is already a pretty hard condition to do. And even if he could do that, it still wouldn't be wild. It wouldn't be wild him taking 50% turn meter increase time and time again, because we're having to do such a hard condition to do that. And it wouldn't break it. It wouldn't be, it's not like taking a turn over a turn. So there we are on the Fire Knight. We were actually able to beat it. That's cool. I think we can bring anybody in that 5th position and beat it regardless. But the whole reason why we ran it was just to see how he would do his moves, right? Just see how he would work. We're not trying to be like, okay, this is the team to use. Our masked Jason Voorhees, let's bring him into arena. We're going to bring him in with a group that obviously we can decrease defense. We want to make sure we kill somebody on that A3. Now remember, again, you could bring in so many rare champions that can do AoE damage or that can do interesting things. To bring this guy in, I don't know. So we're going to bring him in, we're going to get a kill, and we're going to get some nice buffs. I like that part. But the ignore defense part, we did not apply the ignore defense. And believe me, he does damage. The way I have him geared, he's doing damage just like anybody else would do damage. It's not like he does crazy amount of damage. We got all these buffs up. I like it a lot. Now, if you go up against a Tormund, hopefully he applies these buffs in the correct order to where he will not get... Whoa, hold on. Okay, we got a rebirth on him. To where he will not get frozen. And they've really kind of revised how that's... Remember, we had those other champions out there that would apply block debuffs, and then now they revised them so they would do it properly, where Tormund would not freeze you for putting up a group of buffs, because block debuff was at the end and not at the start. I'm sure he is done properly to where he would not get frozen. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's look through this and see if we can't beat these people down. They got a revive from Gorgorab. Okay, we're going to do this move. It's back up again. Great. Did we get our turn meter increase? I don't know. We got a revive on death, though. So when he does die, we'll come back to life. That's the best thing. We did not get our turn meter increase because it was on a 4-turn cooldown. Still, it still is. And we'll try to lower this on Gorgo. Okay, we're in trouble now. A little bit more. Turn meter reduction. We got lucky. Okay, we're going to go ahead and kill. He's below. We're going to kill him, and then we're going to, if we get a kill, we're going to try to apply some fears. Okay, we got some fears up. Great. That'll work. Now we're going to put it on auto. We should be okay now. We're going to take out Gorgorab next. Make sure he doesn't heal, revive anybody else. And we're off. But you can see just by playing him, right? that believe me, don't waste your time. Please go level up some other rare. Go level up some other epic. This guy is not going to be your guy. You're not going to play him. He's going to be terrible for progression. And as far as his in-game or mid-game, he's not going to work out well for you. They really need to revise him, and even then, he's just going to be fun. It's going to be fun to play, and they should really work on that as soon as possible. So we don't want to do against Magic. We'll do it against his Valkyrie here. We want her out of the picture. Remember, she's got decreased defense. I've got increased attack, so of course I'm going to kill no matter what I bring in here. We didn't get that ignore 35% defense because we don't have that fear up. It should be ignore defense, and then if we have fear, it should be ignore 100% defense. I believe that. I believe that would work on an epic champion because we're putting in something cool, and then we're putting in further conditions. Why are you attacking him? We're putting in further conditions to make it even better. And those are big conditions to get up there, really. We just need to get that passive down, and we need to make sure that the A1 requirements are a little bit different for that decreased turn meter. And I think it would be a lot better. I think people would want to play him then, and he wouldn't be overpowered. Like, he wouldn't be going through here. He wouldn't be breaking the meta. I don't see anybody then saying, look, I got to play Mass Fearmonger. This guy is going to do everything we need for him. I just don't see that happening. This definitely needs to be on a 1-turn cooldown. And then for this to happen, we need to ignore defense of 35% base. And then if we have fear or true fear, jack it up to 75%. This skill is great. I don't mind this skill at all. And this one, to decrease turn meter, you just might as well take away this fear condition. I understand we're getting a lot of turns if we drop this down to 1-turn cooldown. We're getting them much faster, right? As long as we're dropping somebody's HP every turn. Remember, we have to drop somebody's HP below 20%. But this condition to have a fear or true fear up should definitely be removed. And obviously this would be removed too. We'd be on a 1-turn cooldown for the passive. And then he can drop turn meter. In PvE as well against bosses, we can ignore some defense against bosses. If we have fear or true fear, we can ignore some more defense. And he would be a good champion. But still, it wouldn't be like this is a meta changer. Everybody is playing this epic now. It just wouldn't be that way. But let me know your thoughts below. What do you think about the masked Fearmonger? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. I will see you guys all in a video soon.